Hello everyone, this is me Arcknight, and today I'm going to do a deck profile featuring the deck that won me semi-finalist in the last Duelist Cup 2023 Philippines, which is Kashtira. But before that, let's watch this intro video. Alright, let's start with my monster lineup. The first monster that I have is Kashtira Unicorn. As you can see in OCG, it's now limited, but that doesn't stop Kashtira from overwhelming the opponent, because once you have access to this card, it's already combo. So obviously you want to maximize that one copy, and there are engines in my deck that leads to this one card. Kashtira Fenrir. Kashtira Fenrir is an awesome card which allows you to search any Kashtira monster, even itself. It's just that it's limited. And it can also act as a removal when it declares an attack or a monster effect on their opponent is activated. I also have one copy of Kashtira Ogre. Kashtira Ogre can help you facilitate that field or monster zone lock, spell trap zone lock when combined with Kashtira Shangri-La. So later on we will show how it's being done. And then one copy of Kashtira Scarecrow Kashtira. So this is an awesome extender that can also help you beat Arcknight Avermax. So if it declares an attack, or even if this card is on the field and there is another Kashtira monster that declares an attack, it's a continuous effect which lets you negate the opponent's monster effect till the end of the turn. So if you declare an attack, automatically it's negated. And mind you guys, this doesn't activate. So that means if your opponent has an Expulinor, which as we know is unaffected by activated effects, when your Kashtira monster attacks and this card is face up and the opponent wasn't able to clear this before the declaration of the attack, then the Expulinor will be negated. So yeah, this is an awesome card. 3 Kashtira Rice Heart. Kashtira Rice Heart is another card that completes the 1/3 combo of Unicorn. This banishes one Kashtira card from deck as a cost. Remember that. And increases its level to 7, and then banish 3 cards on your opponent's top deck face down. 2 Planet Pathfinder. Planet Pathfinder is your second and third copy of Unicorn because it searches the field spell. And it's also a nice card with small world, so we will talk about that later. So this is a great card. This one lone kaiju, Raiden Kaiju. This also has a combo line with small world. It's also your main deck answer to Expulinor. As you know, Purely is one of the top contenders of this format, and I ensure that I still have main deck answer that is searchable. And it is also level 7, which means I can normal summon it with Labirth just in case that I ran out of things to summon and I need to push, right? We have 2 Dimension Shifter. Dimension Shifter is amazing versus rogue decks, Grave Reliant decks, Tearlaments, and it also is your way to ensure that Maxi in OCG and Jordan Lockbird, Effect Veiler, say you use it on your opponent's turn and then it lasts till the next turn, then that already gives you an idea that the opponent doesn't have Maxi or Joel, or maybe they have but it's stuck in their hand. So that's already, you know, a way for you to control what they can do against your combos. 3 Ash Blossom. Enjoy spring. So there are times where Ash Blossom is no longer used, but I still feel it's necessary because there are decks where they don't really search a lot, but they're fast. And the best way for you to counter it is Ash Blossom. For example, they're using Branded, and most of the time Branded, starts their combo with Branded Fusion, and if you don't have Ash Blossom Joy Spring, then you're doomed. And let's say they use Maxi on standby phase, and if you have Ash Blossom, then you can negate Maxi. 3 Maxi, of course, it's OCG. We have 3 Maxis with S. So it's the format tamer, as they call it. So once you have Maxi and your opponent doesn't have an answer, it's either they let you plus off and have you gain card advantage, or they stop their combos and then you bounce back later. 1 copy of Ghost Ogre and 1 copy of Droll. So this is here for Small World, okay? And it's also a nice way to counter my friend Purely, because as you know, I also played Purely competitively, and perhaps that's one way for me to know how to counter it if you play the deck as well. So I know that one of the choke points of Purely is my friend Purely. So if you are able to destroy it, once it activates, then they will not be able to search. And let's say your opponent also plays Super Heavy Samurai, and then you play it against Prodigy, the Pendulum one, then they will not be able to special summon it to place a Pendulum Super Heavy Samurai. So perfect counter, and it usually catch people off guard because people expect Ash, Maxi, and other stuff, but not all people expect Ghost Ogre. And why did I say it's a small world target? Because the type is Psychic. It's light, level 3. So later on we'll reveal how it's being used. Same with Droll and Lockbird. Droll and Lockbird is perfect in this format. It's just that I feel that not all the time, Droll can counter decks. It's a direct minus if you ask me, if you discard it. Yes, you can control the opponent's plays, but if you discard, it's a minus. And there are decks which doesn't really add that much, like Tournaments. You discard it, then okay, next turn, and then they can still mill, and it becomes useless. It's perfect against Mirror or Floanderies because they rely on searching a lot, in other decks. It's 1 copy just so because people main Droll and Lockbird, so at least your crossout designator has target. And it's also one of the lines in a Small World. So there you go, that's my monster lineup. Of course, I have the Kashtira TUSs, or as they call it, Papillas. So it's still unlimited. Once you target a Kashtira, you can summon Kashtira from your deck with different attribute. If it's banished, then you can recycle one of your banished Kashtira cards. So it's your way to have that 1 card combo with Unicorn. So 3 copies is a must. And then Kashtira Birth. Kashtira Birth is a very broken card in my opinion. It can revive every turn, every turn, like your turn. And it can also banish 3 cards on your opponent's keyword face down if you control a Kashtira monster, if they activated a spell card or effect. And then I also have 2 Pot of Prosperity. So this is not affordable because of the Rarity Collection. Thank you so much. This is good because we're reliant on Kashtira Unicorn, and we want to make sure that we have access to it as fast as we can for consistency. It reveals 6. That's just a lot of cards already for you to get those combos. Okay, either reveal Unicorn, Plant Pathfinder, reveal itself, Terraforming, or whatnot. So, and then I also have Planet Rate Sort. So self-explanatory. It searches your Unicorn, searches your Fenrir, and it also has a way to be a card removal combined with Shangri-La. It also allows you to open for OTK, since you have this gain 100 attack and defense depending on the different attributes on the field. So it's not just you, it's also the opponent's field. So let's say the field has 5 different attributes, so that means you gain 500, and that's for all of your monsters. Just imagine. Ooh, Small World. No, so this is one of the most important cards here. Small World was released in Birds of Destiny as a normal rare, but got lucky to be reprinted in Rarity Collection, so everyone has access to it, hopefully now. Hopefully you're able to get your copies already, because if you're not, you're missing out. So its effect is, it lets you reveal a card from your hand once it resolves. So it's not a cost, mind you. So once it resolves, it lets you reveal one card in your hand, and you need to reveal one card from your deck with exactly one attribute, level, type, attack, and defense that matches the one that you reveal in your hand. And then you will add from your deck exactly one factor also, but you base it on the one that you reveal in your deck. So let me give you an example on how I can access Unicorn. So let's assume that we're stuck with hand drops, right? So this is one. So let's say I'm stuck with Ash Blossom and this and nothing else, right? So normally that's a dead draw. But because of Small World, so let's say activate Small World, you reveal one card, one monster from your hand. You reveal Ash Blossom and Joy Spring. So it has 0 attack, level 3 fire, and 1/8. So this is one. So since it's fire, one thing that matches. So far, I think there are more combos, but this is like what I memorized. Because you have to memorize, you have to be familiar with it, instead of, you know, just thinking when you're in that moment already. So you can either reveal this Raise Heart. So matches, so fire, level 3, 0, 1, 8. So the only thing that matches is, you know, fire, because it's level 4 warrior, 1521 zombie. So fire, right? So guess what we can add? So we can add here Kashtira Unicorn. So why? So you reveal this, now you don't care about this, and then what's the common denominator with these two? So wind, no. 4, 7, no. Warrior, psychic, no. 1/5 attack, 2/5 attack, no. 2/1 defense, 2/1 defense. So you see, it's now matching. So there's this one match. So you can add this. So another easy way, if you don't like to banish your Kashtira Rise Heart, is if you have Ash Blossom, you reveal this, and then you reveal Jordan Lockbird alternate art. Just kidding. So it's 0, 0, 0 attack. So that's the only matching. Spellcaster, level 1, wind, fire. And then you also search Kashtira Unicorn. So the common denominator is wind. They're both wind. So yeah. So make sure that whatever you will reveal, it's exactly one match. So another giveaway is, what if you have Shifter? And Shifter is dead because you already have cards in your graveyard. So you reveal Shifter, Dark, and then you will reveal this Kaiju, Raiden. So the common denominator again is level 7, 6, no. 1, 2, 2, 8, 2, 5, no. So the only common denominator is Dark. So now, you will add Kashtira Unicorn. So the only common denominator is they're both level 7. So see, so those lines can lead you to your best card, right? Kashtira Unicorn. So that's Small World for you guys. And I also have 2 copies of Called by the Grave because I hate Maxi in this deck. Right? If they chain it, stand by face, sometimes even draw face. If they know that you're playing Kashtira, or maybe Ash Blossom on your field spell, or Jolly Lockbird, you know, or maybe on game 2s and 3s they use Winter Cherries, you know, with the hopes of, you know, taming it down. But so you have Called by the Grave, you just grab it with your hands, and then you have triple tactics talent, you know. So this is more of a tech choice for me, although it's very rare that I can use it, because it requires you, for your opponent, to activate monster effect on your main phase. for you to activate this. But this is very versatile because you can control monster, non-targeting, you can draw 2 cards, or maybe you can also snipe a card from your opponent's hand, ensuring that, you know, they don't have any other hand traps that can stand in your way. And then I also have terraforming. You search the best field spell in the game, and then Closet Designator. So that's my spell lineup. And then trap lineup is just 3 infinite impermanence. So perfect against Pure Lily, and other, you know, game-breaking monster effects. The only thing that can stand this is Cross Designator most of the time. So once you activated this and it's like the crucial part of their combo, then usually they stop. And it also stops Notoria Beast, you know, those amazing cards. And Kashtira Big Bang. So it's part of your 1-card combo with Kashtira. And I really use the Evenly effect, which, you know, lets you control the same monster as your opponent, and the opponent banish the rest face down. Very rare. So if that happens, then maybe I'm reaching that point already where, you know, it's necessary. Extra deck. So I have 2 Kashtira Rise Heart. So it's a great card against rogue decks. Like, your deck is already a side deck. So that's also one of my decision factor when choosing these decks, because there are lots of rogue decks when you join events, and, you know, you can always prepare against meta decks, but if you're not prepared against rogue decks, then, you know, it might be the cause of your downfall. So that's why I use this, because it's like the side deck to most of the decks, and it's a broken XYZ as well. And then I also have 2 Shangri-La. Shangri-La lets you have an easy access to this one, and then it blocks a zone. And so long if it's face up, even if it's negated by Dimension Barrier or Dark Rule No More, it still retains that zone locking effect, because the zone locks, you know, cares about this being face up. Then I also have this Mind Hacker. Yeah, so this is the perfect card for locking. So usually if you have the combo, you have this and this, that guarantees you with 3 zone lock. So against Vanquish Soul, it's perfect if you lock the 3 zones in the middle where, you know, this and this is standing, so that they can't use Ryzen to bounce you off. And, you know, banishing the opponent's deck is satisfying. Because if you banish their critical cards, let's say you're playing against Runic and then you banish a 2-field spell, then good luck to them. And then I have the Zeus. So when I build Kashtira, I really spend, you know, this is something that, you know, is hard for me to build back in the day, because there's a lot of expensive pieces that I need to get. Like this one, this was once expensive. Although, thank you to my friend Deadpulse. Shout out to you, because you were able to hand me a copy. And then this one, yeah, this is amazing board wipe. It's easy to make in a KXYZ deck. And I also have Big Eye finally, so it's a sign. But I wasn't able to use it in the entire event for some reason, because, you know, sometimes I banished it with Prosperity, but it's a great card. Let's say your opponent has Colossus, you control it, then, you know. And I have these 2, Dark Arm XYZ, and then Dracosac. But usually I retain this because this destroys 2 cards. Sometimes this because it has protection. You know, but most of the decks right now doesn't really care about card effect or battle destruction, because, you know, sometimes they just banish, unlike before, back in the day. So this also clears your graveyard. Let's say you have Shifter. Once you destroy, you can banish a card in the grave, but this card cannot attack, so be careful. And then I also have this. So these are like 2 tech choices. We have a Dark Red Eyes XYZ, and then Titanic Moth. This one, let's say it's the last few turns, and then, you know, opponent is low in life. For every card effect activation, then card effect, I think, it inflicts 600 every time. And it's it cannot be destroyed by card effects as well. Huge 2/8. And this one, let's say the maxi challenge. You maxi challenge, sorry, and then when this card attacks, it burns your opponent's life points depending on their hand cards, and then this card can direct attack with half damage. So that leaves you a door to summon this one. Let's say they control like a big monster that you can just defeat, but Zeus can defeat it, so you can just direct attack and then summon this on top and then wipe them all. Wipe the opponent. Just kidding. And then I have 3 link monsters. I have this infinite track link one. How can you summon this Arcknight? So you banish it with prosperity. You banish it with prosperity. Where's my prosperity? So once you banish it with pot of prosperity, then if you have Kashtira Rise Heart, you can attach it. So face down. So you attach it even if it's face down. And then once you attach it, this protects the XYZ monster from being destroyed with card effects. So if your opponent is prepared against your Arise Sword with Regeki or any other board wipe and you have this, then deactivate Regeki, then okay, it's valid. But you know, it doesn't remove the threat, which is your Arise Sword, because you have this. Yeah. And then I also have this Osa Charmer. Again, I haven't used this in the entire event. It's just more of a tech choice. Generic link 2. Can revive Fenrir, so which leads to their combo, I guess. And then Donor is important since we are prone to Kaiju and then Nibiru. You want to clear your field, and it requires 2 different types, and it can act as removal. The removal though is not a cost, so if it's negated then you're stuck with Donor, but still, right? If you're able to remove your field monsters, and then you can, that leaves you an avenue to summon Unicorn. And then finally I have Baron de Fleur. Again, I was not able to use this entire event for some reason. Sometimes it's just banish it with prosperity, but you know, combined with level 3 tuner, your Kashtira plus level 3 tuner, then you're good to summon Baron and makes you safe against the Nibiru. So that's my extra deck lineup. Now my side deck lineup is very interesting. Okay, I have 2 Drone Lock birds, because it's 2. So let's say it's during game 2, and then you go second, and then you remove 2 cards, and then you insert this in, so that you know you can control the search reliant decks. And I also have 2 Cosmic Cyclone. I still have this because Runic still exists. And other stand decks like Labyrinth. And then I also have 3-dimensional barrier. Once you activate this against purely, you know, what else they can do? They can just link, or maybe mirror, or maybe other sync-related decks like Sword Soul, right? So it's like one-sided vanity that it's hard to counter unless it's red reboot, which is very rare. And I also have Lightning Storm. So I chose this over Regeki because it's versatile. It can destroy monsters, and it also destroys spell traps. And it's searchable by Triple Tactics Trust. Since we're prone to maximum standby, so this ensures that it's live, unlike Triple Tactics Talent. And Dark Wheeler No More, 1 copy because it's searchable, so it's like this and this, so 2 copies. So, and sometimes you face boards with unlimited gates, you know, which is annoying. And then I also have, there can be only 1, but there are 2 copies, so why it's 1 against Purely and Flunderies. You know, it's like the stun card, the best stun card against them. Once you have this, they cannot even XYZ summon, they cannot even swarm. And you know, most of the time when you side against Kashtira, you side monster removal, you know, monster negate. But very rare you side, you know, backrow removal. If you side backrow removal, then how can you solution the Rise Art? So 2 evenly match. Although I wish I just used Regeki so I can clear boards like Vanquish Soul but it's still find relevant against stun decks. Although in the future, perhaps I might switch to another copy of Lightning Storm or maybe Regeki, because there are times where most of the field now, they can survive even if it's just one card. Like let's say purely, they can just keep Nor or Kashtira, they can keep Erase Heart. So case to case. But yeah, I haven't used this very rare. And then one copy of Freddy Boot. This saved me against Floowandereeze when they activated Trap, and it's counter trap. So only counter trap can chain to it, right? Pay half, but what's paying half if you can solution their Solemn Judgment, or you can solution their normal trap, dimension barrier, whatnot, that can prevent you from playing if they go first, right? What's pay half? And then if they can set it, you have removal anyway, so it's fine. So over Harpy's Fire Duster, so I chose this, which is one of my best choices. So there you go, that's my deck. Thank you so much for watching today's deck profile. If you have suggestions, comments, recommendation on how we can make things better, don't forget to add your comments in the comment section. And also don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Respect Yu-Gi-Oh!, our YouTube, our Instagram, and Twitter as well, Respect Yu-Gi-Oh! And thank you so much for supporting our page. And I'll see you guys in the next vlog. Bye!